May 11th, 2023. Daily Bread. Passage, Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 1 to verse 11. Key verse 2. Title, Meaningless, says the teacher. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors, at which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets, and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, "Look, this is something new"? It was here already, long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow them. Daily Bread Message. Introduction to Ecclesiastes. The title of this book, Ecclesiastes, comes from the Greek translation of the word used by the speaker to describe himself. It is related to the word for assembly and means someone who assembles. Most English translations use the word teacher or preacher to describe the speaker in this book. The teacher in Ecclesiastes, although never named, is generally believed to be King Solomon. This is based on the identification that he is the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Moreover, the teacher is very wise and seems to be exceedingly prosperous, both of which were characteristics of King Solomon during his reign. Ecclesiastes is often considered to be one of the most difficult books of the Old Testament to understand. In isolation, entire sections of Ecclesiastes can appear to contradict other parts of the Bible or even other parts of Ecclesiastes. The reason for these seeming contradictions is the often repeated Hebrew word hebel, which can mean meaningless, transient, vain, absurd, ironic, contradiction, futile, senseless, or temporary. Although the author experiences, acquires, accumulates, and achieves almost everything under the sun, he generally concludes by saying, meaningless. The author's point is that life has lasting meaning only when God is at the center of it. Instead of pursuing the world, we must fear God and keep His commandments. Chapter 12, verse 13. As we study Ecclesiastes, may God sober our hearts and turn our hearts toward Him for meaning and satisfaction. The teacher begins with, meaningless. Everything is meaningless. For a king who has power, honor, and wealth, to say that everything is meaningless is very surprising. Meaningless carries the meaning of vanity, absurd, futile, and temporary. Next, an example of labor is given. Though generation after generation labors, that labor seems to be for nothing. The earth continues as it always has, irrespective of our labor. The sun rises and sets, the winds blow, and the streams continue to flow into the sea, though the sea never fills up. We search for novelty, but there is nothing new under the sun. While this all sounds depressing, there is genuine wisdom in what the teacher says about life in this world. We are often preoccupied with finding meaning and fulfillment in our work, accomplishments, and pursuing new experiences. We may look for meaning in our children and other people, building a legacy, or something else in the world. But we must know and accept that these are all temporary and inadequate. Will you let your sense of meaningless drive you to seek God, who can give true meaning to life? Prayer. Father, please forgive me for looking at the world as if it can give us meaning. Help me to be wise about life and to find true meaning in you. One word, accept the teacher's wisdom.